Hello fellow basketball lover. Today we're once again going international and we are looking for the best Nigerian player who has stepped on an NBA court. Just like we did in other videos in which we ranked the best basketball players of a country, we're only going to name the ones who have played in the NBA. And that's the only part of their careers that we're analyzing here. As mentioned, today we're going to rank either Nigerian-born NBA players or players who have Nigerian roots. So let's start. To start off at number 10, say hello to Ime Udoka. Most people might link his name with his coaching gigs, as he spent 9 years as an assistant coach before landing the head coach job on the Boston Celtics for the 2021-2022 season, when he led Beantown to the NBA Finals, where they lost against the Golden State Warriors. Unfortunately, his departure from Boston was due to personal reasons, but from a coaching perspective, he led the team to a finals appearance in his first and only year as a head coach in the league, and he even ranked 4th in that year's Coach of the Year voting. Good news is that the Houston Rockets decide to give the rising co-star a chance and signed him this summer as the head coach on a promising and young team. But way before becoming a coach, Ime Udoka was a mediocre role player in the league. He went undrafted and he's been in and out of the NBA throughout his career, as he spent most time playing in the D-League and also in other international leagues. In total, Udoka played for 5 different teams, but mostly as a reserve. His best season came with the Portland Trail Blazers in 06-07, when he started all 75 games he played in and averaged 8.4 points per game and 3.7 rebounds per game. In 7 total seasons, Udoka had 80 starts in the league, and, interestingly enough, 75 of these came in the seasons spent with the Blazers. Let's go to number 9, and we find Jahlil Okafor. Some of you might remember Okafor as a draft bust, after Philadelphia selected him 3rd in the summer of 2015, and him being out of the league after his just 6th season in 2021. Okafor was a promising rookie after winning ACC's Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year award, as well as being selected on the All-American First Team. His career started as expected, as he posted 17.5 points per game and 7 rebounds per game in 30 minutes in his rookie year. Then, over his second year, all his averages were almost cut to half, and his role with the 76ers took a bump. Just 2 games into his 3rd season, Okafor was traded to the Brooklyn Nets, and he only appeared in 28 total games, averaging just 6.3 points per game. He continued his NBA journey playing 2 seasons for the Pelicans and 1 more for the Pistons, but he could never return to his rookie form. His most notable NBA accomplishment is being named on the All-Rookie First Team in 2016, but unfortunately he could not live up to the hype. Okafor has played in different leagues around the world ever since leaving the NBA. We can only imagine how good Philly's front court would have been if Joel Embiid partnered with Jahlil Okafor at full potential. Moving ahead, at number 8, spoiler alert, we have our first active NBA player, and his name is Kwamdin Ayopo Dosunmu. Who's this? Well, I feel like 50 Cent cause you got me saying Ayo. Indeed, that's just the full name of Ayo Dosunmu from the Chicago Bulls. He's only entering year 3 of his NBA career, but Ayo already showed real potential to become a starting guard in the league. After making the All-Rookie second team in 2022, his second year felt a bit disappointing as his assists and shooting averages took a dip. Still, the first year should be the barometer to measure this guy's potential. Dosunmu is a 6'7" combo guard with terrific strength and toughness, which help him on the defensive end of the floor, and in today's small ball lineups, his size allow him to defend 3 positions. His most impressive stat could be his field goal percentage, where he averages 50.6% over his 2-year career. Even though it comes in low volume, this percentage is still impressive, and if he can find his 3-point shoot for the 2024 season, he should take control of the starting point guard duties for the Chicago Bulls, especially since Lonzo Ball is most likely out for the season. Ayo signed a 3-year deal with the Bulls this summer, and I expect him to have a breakout season. At number 7, we meet another active NBA player by the name of Josh Okogie. Josh is the 20th overall pick in the 2018 draft, and he started his NBA adventure with the Minnesota Timberwolves. The T-Wolves selected him for his defensive prowess, and during his 4-year stay, he developed into an off-the-bench 3-and-D kind of player. Okogie signed with the Phoenix Suns in 2022, and he was one of the key reserves on the squad throughout the season. He just re-signed with the Suns this past summer to continue strengthening a depleted roster after the team's move to acquire Bradley Beal in a trade. His role should expand this season, and he's expected to actually start at small forward after playing shooting guard in his first 5 seasons in the league. I expect Okogie's role in the 2024 season to be the defender of the opposing team's best offensive guard or small forward, and also I see his scoring average increasing from his career average of 6.6 points per game to at least 10 points per game this upcoming season. Moving to number 6, where we find yet another active player on our list, Precious Achiuwa. Just like Josh Okogie, Achiuwa was also the 20th draft pick, only that it happened in the 2020 draft. He started his career in Miami, where he came off the bench for the majority of the 2021 season and played a limited role as he only averaged 12 minutes per game. Achiuwa was part of the Heat Raptors trade that sent Kyle Lowry to Florida, which turned out to be beneficial for him as Precious's role has increased in his second season when he almost doubled most of his stats, most notably minutes per game, points per game, and rebounds per game. Over his last 2 seasons, playing center for the Raptors, he was a steady provider of 9 points per game and 6 rebounds per game, mostly coming off the bench. Even though he might be a bit undersized for the center position, the 6'8" Nigerian has a 7'2" wingspan and he can defend the 3, 4, and 5 positions. Precious just turned 24 years old, and as he gains some more experience, he will definitely become a starting power forward or center in the league, and there is potential for him to average a points and rebounds double-double for a season in the near future. At number 5, say hello to Kelena Azubuike. He might only be remembered by Warriors fans, thanks to Azubuike being part of the 2007 We Believe Golden State's Warrior team, which, as the 8th seed in the Western Conference, produced one of the biggest upsets in playoff history by knocking down the number 1 seed, the Dallas Mavericks. Azubuike was a rookie for this season, but he was providing a solid 7 points per game off the bench. His peak season came in year 3, when he averaged 14.4 points per game. I placed him so high on the list thanks to the upside he had in the league and thanks to his continued growth in the time spent in the NBA. But unfortunately, we did not have the chance to witness what he could have become, because in 2009 Azubuike suffered a torn patellar tendon in his left knee. He missed the remainder of that season and the next one in its entirety, and he only returned for a short 3-game stint in 2012, suiting up for the Dallas Mavericks. I'm not saying that he would have become an all-star, but he had potential to be a productive role player on a contending team, maybe similar to Mario Chalmers on the Miami Heat. His knee injury forced him to an early retirement and he pursued a role in the filmmaking industry. We find ourselves at number 4 and Candyman is right around the corner. No, not a horror story character, but Michael Olowokandi, whose nickname was Candyman. A 7-footer who was the first overall pick in 1998, Olowokandi is considered a borderline draft bust due to him not living up to the draft hype. Obviously, a team with the first overall pick in any draft is looking for a franchise cornerstone, a guy who can shift the organization's direction from a lottery team to at least consistent playoff participation. He failed in doing so with the LA Clippers as his team missed the postseason in all 5 seasons he played there. I'm not gonna say his nickname a third time, so Olowokandi was a starting center throughout most of his NBA career, and in 9 seasons he appeared in a well-rounded number of 500 games. His best statistical season came with the Clippers in year 5, when he averaged 12 points per game, 9 rebounds and 2 blocks per game. His career took a downfall once he signed with the Timberwolves in 2003, and he slowly lost his spot in the starting lineup. His lone playoff appearance came in his first season in Minnesota, and interestingly enough, that's the franchise's best season as well, thanks to their Western Conference Finals appearance. Olowokandi was then traded to the Boston Celtics, where he stuck around for 1.5 years, but he only played in 40 games across this time frame. His greatest individual accomplishment is an all-rookie second-team selection in 1999. For putting up a couple of decent seasons in the league and for sticking around for 9 years, Michael Olowokandi gets the 4th spot, but he may climb down some spots if we revisit the list in a few years due to the potential of the active players we've covered earlier. And we crack the top 3. Does anyone remember Al-Farouq Aminu? He seems like he has retired more than 10 years ago, however, he's only 2 years removed from the NBA. The 8th overall pick in 2010, Aminu has stayed around the league for 11 seasons and he played for 6 different teams. In all fairness, Aminu was nothing more than a role player on mediocre teams, and there's not much to say about individual achievements either, but he is the first Nigerian player we're covering in this video that actually played in the NBA for more than 10 seasons. The 6'8" combo forward was on and off the starting lineups for most of his career. His best basketball year was with Portland in 2016, when not only he played and started in all 82 games, but he also posted his single double-figure scoring season. To credit his longevity in the league, he gets the number 3 spot on our list. 2 more to go. At number 2, say it with me, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Born in Greece, Giannis was welcomed into a Nigerian family of immigrants. Even though his brothers are currently featured on NBA rosters, he is the lone family member to make the top 10. Giannis is arguably the best basketball player of the moment, and he led his Bucks to 5 straight top 3 finishes in the Eastern Conference. On an individual level, he earns numerous accolades, such as 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star Game MVP, and even a Most Improved Player award. The Greek Freak is the only player in the NBA history to win all 3 awards: Most Valuable Player, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved Player. But his biggest accomplishment so far is undoubtedly leading the Bucks to a championship in 2021. The Bucks are annual contenders for the first seed in the East, and they are given the 3rd best chance to win it all in 2024. With Giannis only turning 29 during the season, chances are he has still at least 5 good years to offer. Antetokounmpo just finished the 2023 season with a stat line that puts him in rare company, as he averaged 31 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, and more than 5 assists per game. Giannis joins Elgin Baylor, Oscar Robertson, and Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in NBA history to post these numbers. Lastly, he was nominated to the NBA's 75th anniversary team. With so many accolades, Giannis looks like he should be number 1 on this list, and maybe one day he will if he continues putting his names on more NBA trophies. But for now, the number 1 spot can't be dethroned just yet. As most of you might have anticipated, the top spot goes to none other than Hakeem Olajuwon. The first pick in 1984, selected ahead of Michael Jordan, Hakeem has put together a Hall of Fame career after collecting multiple awards as a player and at a franchise level. To name a few, Hakeem won 2 MVPs, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, 2 Final MVPs, making him the only player in history to win these awards twice. He's a 12-time All-Star who, just like Giannis, is part of NBA's 75th anniversary team. Olajuwon led his Houston Rockets to 2 championships in '94 and '95, and he is widely considered one of the top 15 players in NBA history. Considered one of the best defenders of all time, Olajuwon impressed with his footwork around the basket, a brilliant finisher in the low post, evidenced by his career scoring average of 21.8 points per game. Standing 7 foot tall, Hakeem is the all-time blocks leader, a record we may never witness be broken, but even more impressive for a center, he is also 10th all-time in steals. His quick feet and hands allowed him to cover a lot of ground on the defensive end, and he tormented some of the best centers in history, from Patrick Ewing to Shaq or David Robinson. One fact that history seems to forget is that Hakeem led the Rockets to a finals appearance in just his 2nd season, but he lost the 1986 matchup against Larry Bird's Celtics. Nicknamed The Dream after retirement, he served as a mentor for multiple superstars such as Amar'e Stoudemire, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James, and even to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Everyone is just looking to replicate his offensive moves and footwork in the mid and close range. As long as Hakeem is close to the game of basketball, his legend will just continue to grow, and for all his accomplishments we have him ranked as number 1 in our list of the best Nigerian NBA players of all time. Please don't forget to hit that like button if you agreed with this list. And even if you would move some names in this top 10, you can still like the video to help the channel grow. Let me know your thoughts on this top 10 and comment below what country would you like to see me do next. Till next time, thanks for watching.